Dundas.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. You know, Mr. Speaker, since 2014, an estimated 24 billion litres of raw sewage has been seeping into Hamilton's water system. That's equivalent to Niagara Falls pouring into Cootes Paradise for over 3 hours. Last Thursday, I asked the Premier when did he first become aware of this disaster and what steps did he take to directly inform the community of the dangers. The government's response was and continues to be wholly inadequate. On July 18, 2018, the City of Hamilton reported it to the Ministry's Spills Action Centre. That means for over a year and a half, the Ministry was aware that untreated sewage had contaminated Cootes Paradise and connected Hamilton water systems. This is nothing short of an outrage. Why didn't the minister immediately inform the people of Hamilton when they learned of this incident that posed not only a significant environmental risk, but a significant risk to human health? So many communities in Ontario are experiencing water issues. We have lead in our schools, mercury poisoning continues in Grassy Narrows, and now suspected carcinogens in Tottenham. Every day in this House, my friend and colleague MPP Mamakwa raises the appalling lack of clean drinking water in First Nations communities. So it's no surprise, Mr. Speaker, that the people of this province simply don't trust this government when it comes to protecting our environment. This legacy of distrust dates back to the Mike Harris days of Walkerton, when the government's anti-environment agenda, along with a lack of oversight, was a key factor in that tragedy. Mr. Speaker, I would like to use my time today to recognize and to thank Indigenous women, our water protectors, who have been at the forefront of these water issues. A poignant example of the power of water protectors, Mr. Speaker, is that of Kristen Vilbrun and Wendy Bush, both Oji-Cree women who in November 2015 staged a protest to address sewage waste in Hamilton's harbour and the lack of government action to address it. After they discovered hazardous waste along the shore of Bayfront Park, which included tampons, condoms and needles, they camped on a floating raft offshore to protest the lack of cleanup. These women sounded the alarm, yet their voices went unheard and unheeded. So it's time for all of us in this legislature to step up, listen to the voices of those on the front lines, and commit to protecting our water. Mr. Speaker, Ontario has more than 250,000 lakes containing 1/5 of the world's fresh water. The importance of rigorous standards for ensuring our water is protected cannot be overstated. To my constituents and to the people of Hamilton, I share your rage. I share your heartbreak. Hamiltonians deserve to know what's in our water. Ontarians deserve to know what's in our water. It is the responsibility of the Ministry of Environment to protect our water. But what has this government done? They have dismantled what meagre environmental protections we had, and instead of providing a climate change plan, they've introduced a litter day, Mr. Speaker. You know, no one describes what has been lost better than Joanna Chapman, a well-known resident in my riding, and she writes, "Thank you for standing firm on this sewage debacle. I noted that you did an on-site visit. What you cannot see is the water lilies that covered quite a large section of Cootes until a few years ago. What you cannot see are the frogs, which seemed to have disappeared. What you cannot see are the fish that died or ceased to spawn. What you cannot see are the many dozens of turtles which Dundas Turtle Watch released into Cootes and will not have survived. What you also cannot see are the birds which seem to be missing. What you also cannot see are the thousands of native water plants, along with the millions upon millions of creatures which lived in the water." This government's continued refusal to answer our questions and their failure to protect the people of Hamilton and Ontario is unacceptable. So, Mr. Speaker, I repeat my question. When it comes to our water, what protections can the people of Ontario and the people of Hamilton expect from this government?